it seems we got us another bona fide Caitlin Clark hater, and on top of that, she seems to hate Caitlin Clark fans. Star is mad. Wishy-washy fan base. She calls them out. These players are certifiably insane. Have you ever seen so much pettiness and so much jealousy? And what's crazy is so much ego?
This is what betrayal sounds like. That's not just a commentator speaking. That's someone revealing the ugly, hidden truth of the WNBA, pettiness, jealousy, and an ego so big it threatens to tear the entire league apart from the inside. And Shakira Austin just volunteered to light the match. You're being told this is about a single, thoughtless comment, a petty jab from one player to another. That is a lie. This is a story of sabotage. This is the story of how one player, consumed by frustration, turned on her own franchise, insulted her own paying customers, and betrayed the very system that signs her paychecks. This is how Shakira Austin destroyed the Washington Mystics. And tonight, I'm going to show you the evidence they don't want you to see. I'm going to reveal how this wasn't just an attack on Caitlin Clark, but a calculated betrayal of her own team's secret financial strategy. This goes deeper than a single insult. This is about a team in complete and utter chaos. Stay with me, because the story is so much worse than you know. To understand the depth of this betrayal, you have to understand the deal the Washington Mystics made with the devil. The Mystics typically play at an arena that holds 4,200 people. It's small, it's intimate, it's their home. But when Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were scheduled to come to town on September 7th, 2025, the Mystics front office saw dollar signs. They made a decision, a cold, hard business decision. They abandoned their home court and moved the game to the 14,000-capacity CFG Bank Arena in Baltimore. Let's be perfectly clear about why they did this. It wasn't for the Mystics. It wasn't for their loyal fan base in D.C. It was an open admission, a desperate gamble, that they could cash in on the single greatest attraction in women's sports, Caitlin Clark. They were effectively selling their home court advantage to the highest bidder, and the highest bidders were Clark's fans. They knew the arena would be flooded with people cheering for the visiting team, but they didn't care. The money was too good to pass up. They made a choice, profit over pride, and then the unthinkable happened. Caitlin Clark got injured. She wasn't going to play. For any other team, against any other player, this would be a catastrophe. The game would be meaningless. The big arena, a ghostly cavern of empty seats. But this is Caitlin Clark. Even with Clark on the bench in street clothes, 11,883 fans still showed up. They came to see a superstar, even if she couldn't play. The Mystics' gamble had paid off. The arena was full. The money was counted. All their players had to do was play the game and cash the check that Clark's fame had written for them. But Shakira Austin couldn't do that. She couldn't stomach the reality of the situation. Standing on her home court, hearing the thunderous applause for an injured opponent, she broke. After the game, she didn't thank the nearly 12,000 people who paid to be there. She attacked them. She called Caitlin Clark's fans wishy-washy. She complained about the lack of real support from her own fans. Think about the staggering hypocrisy of that moment. Her own front office abandoned their real fans in D.C. to move this game for a bigger payday. They actively courted this exact crowd. These wishy-washy fans were the Mystics, invited guests, their cash cows for the night, and Shakira Austin, a player on that team, spit in their faces. It was a stunning act of self-sabotage. She wasn't just insulting fans. She was attacking her own team's business model right in public. She took the profitable, if slightly embarrassing, situation her team had engineered and turned it into a full-blown public relations disaster. That isn't frustration. That's betrayal. Now, you may have seen videos from other channels that thrive on fake outrage. You might have seen a title claiming Shakira Austin issued an emergency apology. You might have seen a thumbnail promising she said, "I messed up." Let me be the one to tell you the truth. That is fabricated clickbait. After extensive research, we can confirm that no evidence of any apology from Shakira Austin exists. She has not retracted her comments. She has not panicked. She said what she said, and that is the most damning fact of all. The lack of an apology proves this wasn't a slip of the tongue. It was a statement. It was the moment the silent resentment that has been festering throughout the WNBA finally boiled over. Austin betrayed the unspoken rule. You can hate that Caitlin Clark gets all the attention, but you never, ever attack the money she brings in, because that money pays your salary. The proof is in the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
It's crazy how much these folks believe they actually move the needle. And I told you guys there was some empty, when I did a reaction video to that Mystics win, I told you guys there was some empty seats. Well, there was, and it seems like it was nearly 3,000 empty seats. Despite there being no stakes for the Mystics, who are already out of the playoffs, the September 7th game had an attendance of 11,883, which is quite close to the 14,000 capacity for CFG Bank Arena. Well, let's not get cute. They sold out, and then basically 2,900 people said, "Nah, I'm good. If Caitlin Clark's not going to play, I'm not going to show up."
Did you hear that? Nearly 3,000 empty seats. That's the number of people who bought tickets for the Caitlin Clark spectacle and decided not to show up when she wasn't playing. But more importantly, almost 12,000 did show up. They proved Austin's point in the most painful way possible. The crowd was there for Clark, and the Mystics were just the opening act in their own arena. Austin's crime wasn't just that she insulted those fans. Her betrayal was that she confirmed the team's irrelevance out loud. She exposed the humiliating truth that her own front office tried to hide behind a mountain of ticket revenue. Without Caitlin Clark, they are nothing. She destroyed the illusion. She destroyed her team's pride for a moment of personal venting. This is the definition of a team in chaos. The front office is chasing money, betraying their own identity to sell tickets. The players on the court are resentful and angry, betraying the front office's strategy by attacking the very fans they were paid to entertain. And the fans, they're caught in the middle, told they're wishy-washy for supporting the only player the league seems capable of marketing. It is a circular firing squad of incompetence and jealousy. And don't let anyone tell you this is an isolated incident. This is part of a much larger pattern of player frustration with the Caitlin Clark effect. We've seen it from other players. We've heard the whispers, the off-the-record comments, the subtle jabs on social media. There is a deep, toxic resentment for Clark's success. But Austin did something no one else dared to do. She betrayed the entire financial structure of the league in public. She attacked the golden goose, not realizing that everyone in the league, including herself, gets to eat the golden eggs. Every charter flight the league has now, every hotel upgrade, every new sponsorship deal is tied directly to the tidal wave of interest Clark brought with her. When Austin attacks Clark's fans, she's not just being petty. She's threatening the livelihood of every single player in that locker room. She is, in effect, costing her teammates money. How do you think that sits with them? A player who, instead of being grateful for the biggest audience she's ever played for, decides to insult them. This is how a locker room gets destroyed. This is how trust evaporates. The ultimate betrayal was staring everyone right in the face, confirmed by the league's own actions. The desperation of the Mystics was so obvious, so profound, that it exposed the entire rotten foundation of the WNBA's business strategy.
Rung that along for all kinds of reasons. This is one of the reasons. Because they moved games, this and that and the other, so they wanted to keep up the charade till the very last minute. And they moved this game from Washington, D.C.'s Care First Arena, which holds 4,200 people, over to this Baltimore arena. So, Indiana's huge fan base is largely owed to superstar guard Caitlin Clark. Yeah, who is the biggest star in women's basketball by far. I would argue that in current day, she's the biggest star in women's sports, period. Let's just be honest. Clark is out for the rest of the year, we know. Yikes.
The biggest star in women's sports, period. That's not me saying it. That's the reality the Mystics tried to cash in on when they moved their game to a 14,000-seat arena. It is the fundamental truth of the league right now, and it is the truth Shakira Austin decided to betray. The front office betrayed its own team's competitive integrity for a payday. And in response, Austin betrayed their entire business plan on live television out of what can only be described as pure, uncut professional jealousy. This is the chaos she created. She forced everyone to see the ugly truth. The Washington Mystics, and perhaps the entire WNBA, is an organization at war with itself. It desperately needs Caitlin Clark. It markets her. It sells tickets because of her bay. It moves games into bigger cities for her. But its players, the very heart of the league, can't stand it. They are trapped in a prison of gratitude and resentment, and Shakira Austin just threw a brick through the window. She didn't just damage her relationship with the fans or create an awkward media cycle. She destroyed her team's fragile truce with reality. She exposed them. She humiliated them. And she may have destroyed her own future in the process. Austin is heading into free agency. After this stunt, what team is going to want a player who publicly attacks the league's biggest star and the fans she brings in? What owner is going to sign a player who openly sabotages the team's own marketing and financial strategies? She didn't just burn a bridge with the Mystics. She may have torched her entire career, but the destruction might not end with her. The chaos she unleashed has exposed a crack in the foundation of the league, a team so broken, so dysfunctional, that it eats its own. The question you should be asking isn't whether Austin regrets her comments. The real question is, what happens to a team, to a league, when the betrayal is coming from inside the house? She destroyed the Mystics, carefully laid plans, but what if something even more sinister is at play? What if this chaos is exactly what someone, somewhere, wanted all along? The story isn't over. The fallout is just beginning.